Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where our rather glacial invasion, and I use that term very literally, of the Soviet Union is underway. It's slowly happening here. It's definitely taking some time. The Provisional Government of Panama. Okay, so I was informed via the comments that you can then integrate these guys, and that is true. Now that that was mentioned, I do remember that. We might want to do these, like, one at a time. So we'll let Panama go. We'll create a collaboration government there. So that's Brazilian Panama now. And then what we need to do is we need to start working up their subject level here. So we need to reduce their independence. So if we go into our subjects here, if I recall correctly, this is where this is at. So we need to increase their, or rather reduce their autonomy to annexed. We need 500 to demote to that level. And the way that I did this previously was I just lend-leased these guys. And I just tossed a bunch of equipment at them. Now, what do we have the most of? And what do we not care about? Because we're going to get this back, I believe, when we annex them. We have a whole lot of infantry equipment, too. So we're going to send them, say, I don't know, maybe 2,000 units monthly. Like that. Fantastic. So we're going to send them that. There's a Soviet operative, sure. And now if I recall correctly, that will slowly over time change their autonomy there. Subject lend-leasing to Overlord. Overlord lend-leasing to subject. Yes. Okay, so now every time we deliver to them, that should change the autonomy. Fantastic. So we are still making our way over to this front over here. Now, there aren't very many Soviet troops here. They are poorly supplied, it looks like. And I'm guessing they don't have that many more behind them, because if we look at them, they do have 34,000 manpower right now, but that's not going to last them long. Not in all the wars they're in. So that's definitely something to note. How are our logistics doing up here? Actually, reasonably well. We're making progress anyway. So that's great. That is all fully underway. Do we have any more naval bases that we can construct down here? The answer is absolutely. We can construct more naval bases over here. That's not exactly the highest of priorities, though, at this point. So I'm just going to leave it pretty much where it is. And let's go ahead and max out these two as well. But again, those are not high priorities. Let's check on our naval supremacy. Okay, we're a little spicy over here, but everywhere else looks solid, and that's acceptable to me. So that's fantastic. I also want to take a look at these guys over here. I want to modify the Lend-Lease and send them 2,000 units once, perhaps? I wish that I could send these, like, daily. Okay. They accepted our modified Lend-Lease. What did that do? Did that actually modify it? We'll be able to check again here in a moment. I'm not sure that it did. Next delivery expected in 29 days. Yeah, so that just reset that. Yikes. Yikes indeed. Well, maybe we should get like 2 of these rolling at a time. That is something that we could do. Collaboration government with, say, Bolivia. So we do that. That creates Brazilian Bolivia. And then we will talk to these guys and we'll start a Lend-Lease with them. And we're going to send them, say, 1,000 infantry. Actually, it was 2,000. 2,000. There we go. Let me see if I can get my pop guard back in place. Fantastic. And there we go. We'll get them going as well. Fantastic. Okay. So we'll get that going, and we'll do, I think, 2 of those at a time. I don't want to do too many, because I feel like that would be problematic if we did. Are these guys actually moving here? No. Why don't you come on up over this way and come grab these territories? It is currently 13 April, and it's still pretty frozen up here. This isn't shocking, of course, but that's fine. There are a few Soviet units over here. We're slowly pushing forward. Exceptionally slowly. This was always going to be happening over here. This was always going to be very, very slow. Can we do any more land appropriation? That's a negative. Okay. Sounds good. Now, what does this paramilitary training do? That's not very useful, I don't think. Okay. That's fine, and we'll work our way through these a little bit later on, keeping things kinda slow. So these guys over here, we are going to check to see how they're doing. Now, this Lend-Lease is not going to be arriving for 23 more days, so I'm not sure how much we're going to get from that. What are the other ways that we can adjust that? Let's see here. Active attaches. Active attaches. That's something we could do. Their daily autonomy gain, minus 0.05. I love it. We can send 2 of those because that's how much command power we have. So being able to do 2 of these is perfect. So we're going to send attaches. What else can we do? We can... Lend-Lease, yes. Autonomy effect from Master Building. I think they're already maxed out. Subject contributed to war score and subject exporting to Overlord. Okay. Those are probably things that increase autonomy, is my guess. So that's fine. How's our technology doing? We are about 9 days away from Mechanized Equipment 1. Sure. Now, we currently are producing, what, motorized, I think? Yeah, I'm not sure that we need mechanized. Yeah, we don't need mechanized, so that's something to note. Okay, well, that's fine for now. How are things going in Europe? Soviet Union is pretty screwed over here, if I'm honest. The Allies are kind of wrecking the Soviet Union, at least in this pocket. We don't really know how they're going to do on this front long term. They may do okay, or they may do poorly, or they may turn and send everything against us. That is also a possibility. It's hard to know. It is currently 23 April. I'm going to bump it up to speed 4, despite the lag. Just because this feels a little bit on the slow side. Okay, let's take a look at our subjects here. Fantastic. So those active attaches are doing the trick for now. Slovakia. Do you actually exist? Slovakia does actually exist. Fantastic. That is certainly noted. We're going to start a Lend-Lease with them as well. And we're going to send them some infantry equipment too. We're going to send them 2,000 of it. Fantastic. And that'll be absolutely fine. We can't send an attaché to them just yet. But that'll get there soon enough. And my pop shield is really being obnoxious. Are we good? Okay, now it's not falling over. Fantastic. So let's check how we're doing over here. We are just about to take this province. Not that that's the biggest of deals, but it'll be fine. And our constructions are underway nicely. Now, there's not a whole lot that we're actually getting here. Let's bump this down to 1, since that's what we're actually getting from the UK. And let's bump this down to 194, which is actually what's available. There we go. And that'll free up a few of those. Perfect. So how are our subjects doing? Now, Iron Wolf, Lithuania, and Slovakia were capitulated, but they're getting freed up by the Allies. We don't really need mechanized. That's not really super important to us. But then again, neither's really anything else here. We could go down rubber processing. That'll be okay. I suppose we could export additional rubber. That'll be fine. Can we do anything in here? Well, not exactly, is the answer. Certainly not exactly. Okay. That's fine. So we are continuing to grab territory over here. It's now 1 May, and it's still actually frozen over here. Yeah, still below freezing, but it's getting closer to freezing, and we're starting to move faster now. So that is wonderful to see. Absolutely great. This guy over here, he is almost to this location. And let's go ahead and check to see if we can build additional naval bases over here. We can't just yet. Actually, we can. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and do that. And that'll be fine. There are some Soviet troops over here, to be sure. We are beginning some attacks, I think. Are they retreating? Yes, they are. Basque Country has capitulated again. Perfect. We're currently missing some fighters. And who is missing fighters? The UK still wants us to join their faction. We're probably going to make our own faction pretty soon. In fact, we should probably do that. What does that actually cost us? Absolutely nothing. Our faction name here. Well, we are Integralist Brazil. So we're going to call it Integrated Brazil. Perfect. Let's create a faction with Bolivia here. Even Integralist Brazil, famed for its faith in the strength and superiority of its people and nation, is not beyond forming alliances with those they respect. Plino Salgado announced today that the final agreements have been made about the Integrated Brazil, a military coalition, which purportedly room only for honorable nations destined for greatness. Are those... Is that a sentence? Which purportedly room only. Maybe that's a usage that I'm unfamiliar with. That's like syntactically correct, but it's weird. I don't know. Whether this greatness is intended to come from building the ideal society within the borders of the respective nations, or by working together to expand beyond them, the world may not know until it is too late. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and invite in Panama as well. They're already in. They automatically joined because they are our subject. Okay. Sounds good. Mauritania, do you want to join? I doubt they do. No, they don't want to join. That's fine. Anyone else who is not part of a faction already who wants to join is pretty much welcome to join, but we're a little late to the party on that one. That's fine, though. British North Africa has capitulated. Okay. The Iraqi People's State. Comintern is kind of going ham in Africa right now. The Provisional Government of Costa Rica. We're not ready yet, actually, for that one. There are a few things that we need to work on. The Romanian People's Republic has capitulated. That is great news. We're attempting to attack over here. We don't really have much at the front. So this attack isn't going amazingly well. But that's okay. We aren't too shocked about that. How are our supplies over here? Good here, not great here, in all honesty. Only 3 available supplies here. 36 out of 36 up here. It's getting a lot better. We definitely want to prioritize this. There we go. We'll get some more naval bases rolling up there. Fantastic. So that is well and truly underway. How are we doing on our subjects? It's going to take some time. We knew that would be the case. When are we expecting our next Lend-Lease delivery here? Apparently we already sent it. Well, convoys appear to be a very effective way of sending Lend-Lease. Oh, monthly impact on autonomy in case of full delivery here. Yeah, so we can see that. That's minus 700. Yeah, convoys are extremely effective at that. So we're going to send them, I don't know, maybe 750, because we need to reduce them by like 500. And we'll send it once. Wonderful. Yeah, convoys are the way to go on that one, for sure. And then once that's delivered, we will, at that point, and we can't currently talk to them about it. So does that immediately reduce it? Hang on. No. Does not immediately reduce it. It needs to be delivered, so 27 days until that's delivered. Fine. That will be absolutely fine, and I believe we will get the convoys back. So that'll be good. We're not really working on producing convoys at this exact moment. We're currently working on getting these lads on up to the front lines. The Corsican Republic joined the Allies. Okay. That's fine. We have absolutely no problem with that, and our technologies are working. I mean, there's nothing super important in our technologies anymore. Improved rocket engines is fine, and we will go ahead and grab advanced rocket engines. Perfect. Soviet Union is definitely collapsing in Europe. It's making gains in Africa, though. And then there's all this up here, which is problematic for the Soviet Union, to say the least. They're kind of just in full retreat over here right now. And that's fantastic for us. Can we construct infrastructure up here? Not yet. We don't quite have half of this state, but surely the next province or two we will. We've got to be really close there. And we're pushing our way up. That one, I believe, is not within this state. That's within this state. But that's completely fine. And were there additional naval bases that we could construct over here? No, but we definitely want to get this prioritized like so. Okay, we have some unassigned divisions here. These are just a single modern tank brigade. We'll assign that in here. Sounds great. How long on that Lend-Lease? 18 days. They will, of course, accept that. We're also going to send a similar Lend-Lease to these guys. We're going to cancel this, and we're going to send them a convoy of... We're going to send like 500 to them as well. That's only minus 350. Okay. How much do we actually need? We need like 498. So we're going to send them like 750 here. That'll do the trick. Excellent. As far as these guys up here go, I kind of don't want to annex them. At least not yet. Are the Soviets going to be able to punch out here? I kind of doubt it. We are just absolutely outclassing the Soviets on this front. So that's wonderful. We do require some more technology here, and I believe we're maxed out on our naval tech right now. That is indeed the case. We can, however, grab floating airfield, and so we shall. Not that we're currently utilizing carriers. Carrier doctrine is overrated. Very low supplies up here. This isn't shocking, of course. 35 out of 36. It's over here that we're really struggling right now. And that is why we changed this. The fall of Rome. Forces from France just entered Rome. Okay. I was under the impression that was already under the control of the United States, but sure. Republican Spain is just kind of going ham over here. They should have kept us in the war. We were holding that for them. Okay, this is another tank brigade. That goes in here. Fantastic. How are we doing on these lads? 10 days on that Lend-Lease. Perfect. Now, we are down to 513 convoys right now. That is definitely true. And I do want to make sure that we are producing convoys. We're going to move these up to here. And we are going to drop like that. Just to make sure that there are a few convoys going in here. Fantastic. So we're currently producing how many per year here? 1.73 per week. It's actually pretty good. The Soviet-Bulgarian Treaty of Mutual Assistance. The Bulgarian Prime Minister, Georgy Dimitrov, and the Soviet leader, Joseph Stalin, have signed an agreement by which they seek to strengthen the relationship between both countries and promote cooperation in military and economic matters. With this treaty, the Bulgarian government also intends to stimulate trade with the Soviet Union and use Soviet capital to make new industrial investments. They only seek Soviet protection. Indeed. We are making gains in Siberia. That's great. We're undersupplied down here, so we're going to stall out down here until we can get that under control. But let's see if we can build infrastructure up here, and the answer is we absolutely can. That becomes quite important to us, but not this important. But not this unimportant. Rather, we want to bring... Did I not send that to the top? I did not. Okay. Rather, we want to bring this down to be probably about here. Okay. Fantastic. So that continues to be underway. And we are pushing our way up to this line. We're going to want to grab this. Unfortunately, there's this Japanese portion over here that is slightly problematic. This will give us borders with the Japanese, which is, again, slightly problematic. Sorry, Nicaragua. We're not ready for that yet. Let's talk to these lads and see how that Lend-Lease is going. In fact, it's going well. We need 31 more political power to annex these guys. We are gaining 1.13 per day. So there's that. 31 days to annex these guys. That's a lot of political power for annexation, but fair enough. I mean, that's quite a bit that annexation has to do, right? So it makes sense that that costs a good chunk of political power. So, of course, that means we want to save up our political power for a while anyway. And Brazilian Bolivia, they're going to be a while as well before we can annex them. So that's a thing. Can we start building an airbase up here? Because that is pretty important. The answer is yes, and that becomes our top priority here. Where's that airbase at? There it is. Excellent. So we'll get that fully underway so that we can have proper air cover up here, and that will be very useful for us as well. We are currently up to 20% war support. That's going pretty well, really. That attaché is getting us a lot of war support. Fascinating. I actually didn't realize that that was a thing, but makes sense. Yeah, we've definitely got the Soviets on the run over here. We're pushing through now that it is June in a reasonable fashion. We are low on our convoys right now, and that was always going to be the case. We knew that would be a thing. Brazilian Panama has half of our convoys, and as soon as we have the political power, we will annex them. But that won't be for a little while yet. 20 more political power, to be precise. Convoy interdiction has just finished up. And let's go ahead and grab submarine offensive. Perfect. That'll be fine. Are we actually getting any resources up here yet? Probably not, if I'm honest. There's very little up in this region. But we are continuing to push back the Soviets. And that is absolutely magnificent, and building our infrastructure behind us as we go. We just have to be careful that we don't push too quickly, or else our infrastructure will fall behind and we won't be able to hold it. And that will become a problem. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will get these guys annexed. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.